Hi everyone, hang on one second. You're seeing my light. I cannot. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, sorry about that little mishap. My phone flipped around the camera, and so hopefully we're all good. So, thank you guys so much for joining me. It is Sale-a-Bration Sunday on a Saturday evening. We are doing Sale-a-Bration Sunday this week a day early because tomorrow I'm taking my son to summer camp, and so we're gonna be really busy tomorrow and getting him off. So we're doing Sale-a-Bration Sunday day early. I didn't want to skip it, so we're just doing it a day early. And today we're going to talk about the Rings of Love DSP, and we're going to get into that in just a minute. But this is what we're making today. It is so fun. I have so many fun things to share you with the Rings of Love DSP, but also the coordinating stamp set that it coordinates with. Before we do, just a quick couple of reminders. Tomorrow is the 10th. Tomorrow is your last day to subscribe for July's Paper Pumpkin. If you have not subscribed to July's Paper Pumpkin, you're running out of time. Tomorrow is the last day. Make sure you subscribe. There's a link in the video description if you want July's kit. Also, last reminder, Card Crate this month features the best butterflies. Card Crate is a class to go. It comes with $20 in products. It is $35. You're going to make 4 amazing cards. You're also going to receive $20 in product. And if you need to add on the best butterflies bundle, you can do that. Just let me know when you register that you'll need that bundle, and you can add that on. Okay, let's talk about Sale-a-Bration Sunday on a Saturday. Today we are talking about this Rings of Love DSP. Now the Rings of Love DSP, like all of our Sale-a-Bration products, can only be earned free with a qualifying order. This one, the qualifying order for this one is $50. So you can get this one free for $50. So let's take a look at the DSP, because it is gorgeous. Like I said, it's my favorite DSP in the Sale-a-Bration catalog for sure. And I have ordered a ton of this because I love it, and I have some big plans for this with my team. So if you are thinking of joining Stampin' Up, becoming a demonstrator, you might want to consider that. Join my team. We're going to do some fun stuff with this. I have some fun things coming up. Okay, so this is one of the patterns. This is my favorite pattern. These colors, but the plaid, so fun. And then the opposite side is also gorgeous, beautiful, kind of florally notes. Now this DSP I think is like a year-round DSP. You can use this in any season. You have this beautiful like watercolored. I think this is like definitely spring. This is springtime for sure. And then you have like this autumn page, which I love. I love the colors in here. You have this beautiful like winter watercolor, beautiful. And then on the back of that one, these beautiful birds. I think it could also be very spring or summery. You have these beautiful medallions, and I've seen a lot done with these medallions. I've seen people actually fussy cut them out, which, you know, I'm a fan of fussy cutting, so that would be fun. But again, this is like a year-round one. You can definitely use that year-round. And then on the back of this one, you have these super fun houses. And I have actually taken this sheet and cut up a bunch of houses. The card that I posted on my blog yesterday, if you didn't check that out, check my blog. But it used a couple of these, and we're actually going to use a couple more of these houses today. So don't be afraid to get your scissors out and start cutting it up. Then you have the beautiful tree rings, and I love the watercolored look of these. And you flip that over, and this one I think is maybe my second favorite. I love this pattern. I love the little mushrooms and the butterflies and the leaves. I love it all. And then you have like the super Christmassy one with the little poinsettia flowers. And then just the tree branches and stuff, the trees. It looks like a forest, which could be used for fall, winter, whatever you want. So it's a phenomenal pack of paper. Definitely will take you through the year. So this is one of your Sale-a-Bration options. So you can get this one free with your qualifying purchase. Okay, just putting my paper away. All right, so coordinating with this, I know a lot of people are like, oh, those dies. I want those dies. How do I get those dies for free? The Rings of Love DSP coordinates with the Ringed in Nature. I'm gonna find it. I was not prepared for this part, but here it is. It coordinates with this one, the Ringed with Nature bundle. Now I've used this one a ton, and if you love this bundle too, this is actually going to be the feature of my card crate in August. So if you love this one, this is coming in August. But we're going to use this entire bundle today. We're going to use the stamp sets and the dies. So this one coordinates great with the Rings of Love DSP. So if you get this, consider picking this as your free Sale-a-Bration option. And the Ringed with Nature bundle is $53. So boom, right away, you're already earning your free paper with this bundle. Okay, let's put away our catalogs and we're going to get to our card. Today we are making a slimline card. Now I don't make a lot of slimline cards, but I think that they are gaining in popularity. So you guys will have to let me know in the comments if you guys make slimline cards. But this one's a little different. We're making a slimline easel card. So when you send it to your recipient, they can actually stand it up just like that. So it'll stand up on their mantle, their desk, their table, wherever they want to display cards. It'll stand up. You can see the front, the inside, and there's still plenty of room to write a message. So this is what we're making. It's a little twist on the easel card. We're just doing a slimline easel card, which I think is so fun. So we're going to do this first. Now we're going to start with some of our watercolor pieces so that those have time to dry. But I did want to mention with the slimline cards, we do sell these amazing slimline envelopes. These are in the annual catalog. They come in 3 colors. You can get white, gray, and then soft succulent. Any one of these would coordinate great with this paper. And they fit perfectly in these envelopes. But if you don't have these slimline envelopes, these cards, this size card will fit in any like business legal sized envelope you have. So look around, you may have some of those so you can make your slimline cards. But again, before we get to the card, we're going to do some watercoloring. And so for that, I'm going to grab up some scratch paper. Now, if you are shopping, make sure to head to my online store. This is July's host code. Use the host code this month. All orders will receive a PDF with 3 exclusive projects. Orders over $50 or more will receive a free Sale-a-Bration product, obviously. But you're also going to receive the make and take kit that goes with that PDF. All right, I have Poppy Parade. And I have soft suede, and I am just going to take a block. This is just a clear block, and I'm just going to kind of ink them both up there. We're going to do some watercoloring, and this is kind of my preferred way to watercolor. I like to just put it on the blocks. You have a nice little palette you can work with. It's kind of my go-to for watercoloring. We're going to use the aqua or the water painters. They're not called aqua painters anymore. I'm going to use the water painters. Make sure that's clean, and I am going to get my paper wet. We're gonna do more with the Poppy Parade. We're gonna do more with the red than with the soft suede, because on our cards, I'm just getting this wet. This is shimmery white paper, by the way. You can use watercolor paper, but I like the extra shine that shimmery white paper has. We're gonna do more with the red than the soft suede. We're only doing the little acorn topper and the mushroom bottoms for the soft suede. And with the red, we're doing the mushroom tops and the little heart inside. So we're going to do more with the Poppy Parade. And I'm just giving this a nice little wash. I want it to be damp. I don't want it to be like soaking wet, but I want it to be damp. And I'm just squeezing my brush, a little bit of water on here. And we're just going to kind of paint this on. All right. And I'm going to move this over because it's gonna all go off the edge. And the darker you want it, just keep adding color. You can wait for it to dry completely and go back and add more color. These I went pretty dark with my red. It's a little darker than I actually intended to go, so just be careful. It's easier with red to add less than to add more. Okay, I have a baby wipe here. I'm just gonna kind of clean this off on my baby wipe. All right, and I have another aqua painter. I'm going to clean these real good with some water when we're done. But I have another water painter, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to squeeze this out, get a little bit of color on here. I'm going to pick up that soft suede, squeeze a little bit of color in there, and we're going to do the same thing with this, okay? Now, I've already die cut my pieces, so we're not going to actually have to wait for this to dry, but I wanted to show you this is drying a little bit, so you can go in and you can add more color to this. And the more color you add, it's going to change the look of it. Everything's going to look a little different. You can add color, add darker, lighter color. Watercoloring it's fun, but there's not really any rules to it, and I'm not doing any kind of like shapes or patterns or anything, because this is really just for die cutting. Once this is dry, then I'll just die cut those pieces. Okay, so we're actually just going to set that aside. That is all you want to do. If you want to add more color, let it dry and go back in and add more color. And I'm just taking baby wipes and cleaning off my blocks. So this doesn't hurt your blocks. Just clean off your block and you're good to go. Okay, so we're going to set this all aside, and I will come back and clean these. So that is kind of just the basic watercoloring. Now, you can just die cut those pieces from cardstock or glitter paper, whatever you want to do. But I thought that watercolor look really kind of gave it a little bit of a different look. And you'll be able to see it more in the pictures. All right, let's get to our, what do we want to do next? Let's do our whole card base next. So I have a piece of, I didn't write down my measurements. This might be bad. I have a piece of cardstock that is 8.5 by 7. So it's 8.5 this way. Let me unfold it. Maybe. It's 8.5 this way, and it's 7 this way. Now on the 7-inch side, I scored it at 3.5. So I scored it in half at 3.5, and then I need to check this measurement. It's in the video description. This is 1 3/4. And so we're going to fold on that score line as well. So on the 7-inch side, scored at 1 3/4 and at 3.5. Okay, so that is your card base. This fold in the middle, this is what's going to give us our little easel card. So it's going to kind of fold up. I don't know if I can get it to the camera. It's going to kind of fold up like that. Okay. Now I have a piece of white, which of course I didn't measure. This I believe is 8 1/4 by 3 1/4. Let me double check that. Yeah, 8 1/4 by 3 1/4. And this is what we're gluing our DSP pieces onto. And this will just go right onto our card like that. Okay. But let's get all of our DSP pieces onto this paper. So I have 3 pieces of DSP, which of course I need to measure again. Normally I write all my measurements down for boxes and stuff, but for cards I don't normally do that. So 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. And you're going to need 3 pieces of this. So I just chose 3 patterns of the DSP, and we're going to put them in different order this time. I'm going to put this acorny one in the middle, and then put the mushroom and the flowers on either end. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. This is the order we're going to do it in, and each of those are what did I say? 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. Anyway, it'll all be on the blog as soon as this is done. And I believe those measurements are in the video description. If not, I'll make sure they are. All right, so we're going to glue these down to this paper. And so I'm just going to put some adhesive all along this paper. This is just basic white. You can use any color you want. We're covering this entire thing. So you can use any coordinating color. You can use crushed curry again. So whatever color you want. Okay, so on the far right side is going to be my first piece of DSP from the Rings of Love DSP. So that's going to go on that side. Then we're going to add my next piece from the Rings of Love DSP. That's going to go in the middle. And then finally that last piece. And it should all line up perfectly, just like that. Cute, right? All right, now we're going to stick this onto our card base. But let me grab dimensionals. We are only putting adhesive on the very bottom. So down here, and I'm going to put them on with dimensionals because I love dimensionals. But you're only putting it on the bottom. If you adhere the top of this to the top of your card here, you're going to glue it shut. So don't do that. Well, you won't glue it shut, but it won't be the easel card that you want it to be. So peel off your backings. Okay, just put the trash off to the side here. Okay. Now we're just going to line this up, kind of center it, and just adhere that very bottom part. So now you're still going to be able to lift this up. I wish my camera was a little farther away so you can kind of see how this is going to go. See, like that? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay, so let's work on all of our little elements. Okay, so let's talk about the tree rings. They are fantastic, aren't they? Aren't these amazing? So there's a couple different ways you can get those tree rings. You can cut them out of the DSP that I showed you, or you can use the dies, the Ringed with Nature dies. Let me pull that DSP back because I do want to show you that the dies, where's that tree ring one? The dies will actually cut this out. So this is the Ringed with Nature bundle. It is a fantastic bundle, and I have the big die in here. But this die will cut these out of the DSP. So if you wanted to just use these tree rings, you absolutely could. It will cut them directly out of the DSP. But we're going to use the bundle with the embossing folder. This is a hybrid bundle. So when you buy the bundle, you're going to get the stamp set, you're going to get the dies, and you're going to get the embossing folder. And so let's play with the embossing folder and the dies. So I love these hybrid folders because they not only emboss it, they also cut it at the same time. So that's pretty phenomenal. So To use it, you're going to need your plate number 1, your platform, and then you're going to need number 4. This is your specialty plate. So whatever you use to cut the thick 3D embossing folders with, that's what you're going to use for this sandwich. All right, now we're going to get our die in here. So this is just going to kind of, it's going to kind of lock into place. You can see it's not really moving in there. Once you get it into position, it's not really going to move. So here's what we're going to do. And actually, we're going to do it this way. I'm going to grab my soft suede ink, and I am going to, which side do I want to ink up? Okay, I want to ink up this side. Do I? Is this the side I want to ink up? Yes. This side. So I'm going to just lightly press. I'm not smushing it down. I'm just tapping this lightly along my embossing folder. And if this freaks you out, if you don't like this, this is a completely optional step. When I clean my ink pads, I will just, or my embossing folder, I'll just run it under some water in the kitchen. You can use some Dove dish soap to clean it off. You can see I have that all like inked up. I hope you can tell. Okay, now we're going to, I'm trying to do this without getting ink all over my hands. So we're going to pop our die back in place. Okay, it should kind of nestle right in there. Okay. I think it's in place. I can't tell. There it goes. Now it's in there. We're going to put our paper on top. Now this is just a 1/4 sheet of paper. This is 5.5 by 4 1/4, and you're going to see down here that not all the tree rings are going to get it cut, but that's okay because we only need 3 of them. But if you want to use all 5 of those tree rings, you're going to need a longer piece of paper, probably like a 6-inch piece of paper. Okay, now without moving it, we're going to put that plate on top and we're going to run it through. Ah, this is so cool. You'll see what I mean. Okay, now very, very carefully, so you don't want to move it around too much because of all that ink. I'm going to flip it over. So we're going to open it up and you're going to see how amazing. So all of these tree rings have cut out, but not only that, is they have all that detail inside the ring. So it's almost like a letterpress look. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I love it. So, and the die just like cut right inside of it, which is just even more amazing. It's so amazing. All right, let's put this away. And we have our tree rings. And remember, with that embossing folder, just go run it under some water. Use a baby wipe, just clean it off, and it'll be fine. Okay, so aren't those so much fun? I could just like look at these all day long. They are so much fun, and there's so much detail, and they have all that amazing embossed texture, which I love. Okay, as long as we have our ink out, I'm gonna do one more little bit of stamping on this tag I have from the TaylorMade tags. We're just gonna put "Thinking of You" just kind of right in the middle. This is from that Ringed with Nature stamp. And that's it for our ink. We are not going to get dirty anymore. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. And we're going to choose 3 of these. So I want 2 for the outside and I want 1 for the inside. So I think I'm going to use that for the inside, and then I'll just use these 2 for the outside. All right. Now, like I said, I already let me pull this back in so we know what we're making. I've already fussy cut all my stuff. So I have the little house cut directly from that Rings of Love DSP. And then I have the 2 mushroom tops, and these have a little bit more of that watercolor texture on them, some light and dark details. So these are the mushroom tops. I have a couple mushroom stems, and the dies of the mushrooms and the stems and the leaves, everything that comes in this die set, they give you so much of that detail too. So it's pretty phenomenal. Okay, we also have a little acorn top, and then that same mushroom top, but we're going to use it for the bottom of the acorn this time. So it's multi-purpose. And then we have this leaf that I cut from Mint Macaron, also from the Ringed with Nature bundle. And this little heart that was die cut using that same watercolored piece with the Give It a Whirl dies. Okay, so those are all of our little die cut pieces. All right, one more thing that I want to do to the tag before we start assembling everything is I want to add some linen thread. Now, if you guys ever notice when you undo the linen thread, it's real like coily, and just take your fingers and just kind of pull it like this, and it will straighten out. You can also use your bone folder and just kind of straighten it out like this. And that makes it easier to work with. So if you ever have that problem, if you're really frustrated with your curly twines or your linen threads, just straighten them out with your fingers or your bone folder. All right, I'm gonna cut a little bit more of this. I think I need a little bit more. And we're just gonna I'm doing a double bow. So I'm folded the twine in half, and I'm just going to tie a double bow on here, which now that I'm doing it, could have been done in advance so that you guys didn't have to watch this painful process. But that's okay. All right, it's not so bad. That wasn't so bad. All right, let's trim our ends, and I'm gonna leave the ends a little bit long, but I do want to trim these just a little bit. Okay, so there's our tag ready to go. It has this beautiful little swoopy bow with the linen thread. We have all of our elements together, so with my scissors away. All right, let's put this all together now. All right, our smallest of the rings, of the tree rings, is actually gonna go inside, and we're gonna pop that up on dimensionals. So let me find some dimensionals here. I'm gonna put this on the inside. Now, wherever you want this to go, I'll pop it up just like that. Wherever you want this to go is where you're going to put it on the inside. I mean, obviously, that was a dumb sentence, but where you want it to stand. Now, I originally had it over here on this side, but then your card is gonna go real slanty over here. So I went more toward the middle because then it stands up a little straighter. Okay, and I'm gonna take a little bit of liquid glue. You can use glue dots here or any other glue you want, and put a little bit on the back of my heart, and that's gonna go right in the middle of my tree ring. Just like that, and that's gonna go on the inside, and that's what's gonna hold up our little easel part. Okay, hope you guys are with me. Okay, and let's put together all of our, well, we'll go through. These tree rings are also gonna go up on dimensionals, so I'm gonna need some more dimensionals. Let me grab some from up here. So put a few on the back of here. Okay. Okay. I hope you guys are having a good Saturday night. We just had a little storm go through not too long ago. I was hoping it would pass quickly because I was like, well, I don't know if I can do my Facebook Live if it's lightning and thundering outside. But it passed really quick. Okay, so I just put down my tree rings, which look amazing. Our tag is going on with dimensionals. Of course. There's a lot of dimension on this card. Now, if you don't want to use as many dimensionals, you can always just adhere these down. That's going to go off to the side like that. Our little house that we fussy cut from the DSP, that's going to go right on here, and you guessed it, a couple dimensionals on the back of that. All right, now we just have all of our little pieces here. So I'm going to do a little bit of glue on the back of my leaf, and all of these little pieces you could die cut with adhesive sheets on the back of them. And this one I'm just kind of sticking behind the tree ring, so it's going flat on the card, just kind of off to the side there. We're going to do the same with our little acorn. That's going to just pop off the side here just like that. I have my acorn top here. Just a little bit of glue on the back of that. And that goes right down. Just like that. I have glue all over my fingers. Just like that. Isn't that cute? I love that little acorn. He's so cute. All right. For our mushrooms, we're going to have one mushroom coming off the side this way. If you have a family member or a friend that is very into like Super Mario Brothers or something, these mushrooms could make a very cute card. This one's going to go right on that tree ring, just like that. Now for this one, I'm going to put a little dimensional kind of right at the top of that one because we want our mushroom top to be the same height. We don't want it to kind of swoop down, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm just going to kind of tuck that dimensional a little bit under that tree ring because it's not going to, mushroom top is not going to go out that far. So I'm just going to kind of push that down right onto that dimensional, just like that. Isn't that cute? Now we are going to add one more thing to really make our mushrooms stand out a little bit. And these are the Iridescent Pearls. These are in the annual catalog. And I'm just going to put 3 of the little ones right onto the little mushroom tops here. And that's just gonna give them so much fun detail, lots of little sparkle. It's gonna be so cute. Okay, and that, you guys, that's it. That is our beautiful Rings of Love easel card. So it stands up on your recipient's desk. Whoever you want to send this to, it stands up on their desk. Just like that. There's still plenty of room to write your message. You can even add a little gift card in here if you wanted, whatever you wanted to do, but it is so stinking cute. I just love it. It's a slimline card. I don't make many of those, so when I do, I always think they're just so much fun. All right, guys. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I will not be live again until Wednesday on my business page, and then Sale-a-Bration Sunday next week will be on a Sunday. So we'll be back to our normal schedule this week. We won't have so many changes because of kids. But let me know what you think of this card. If you love this Rings of Love DSP, please let me know. It's one of my favorites. And if you have any questions on anything, please let me know. If you are shopping, make sure you head to my online store. Use this host code when you shop. And if you're watching this on Facebook, please share this with your friends. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel. And you guys, I'll see you guys on Wednesday on my business page. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Bye.